Okay, so I get asked all the time, how can I set up a Integromat scenario with a multiple trigger? So what they mean by that is they want to have multiple triggers triggering a sequence of events over here. Now, there's no built-in way to have that work in Integromat. And the reason for that is because different triggers will have different data packets, which basically means the data is coming in different ways. And it's very hard. It's going to error all the time if you try and set that up. So I wouldn't, even if they had that, I wouldn't recommend it unless they have a very good solution for it. But there is a good workaround, and essentially the workaround is to use a webhook. Now, what I mean by that is you need to create a scenario, and this scenario here, which is starting with a webhook trigger, is going to be the scenario that you want to have multiple triggers for. Okay, so instead of having multiple triggers, you just have a webhook trigger, and then what you can do is you can add that webhook in any other scenario. Or you can add, so what I mean by that is you could have this scenario here triggered on this scenario, this one, that one, and they could all just trigger this one scenario. And so suddenly that makes all your logic quite a lot more simple, because you've got all this sort of stuff happening, just triggering this one scenario. So you've got these multiple triggers. But how do we send that data across? Well, we need to be using the HTTP make a request. And you can put this anywhere in your scenarios to then trigger this particular scenario via the webhook. But it's very important that and essentially what you do is you grab the webhook URL. So you grab that from here, and then you put that in the URL to post the data to, make sure the method is post. And then you just set up your query string. So the data that you want to send across, I'm not mapping any data in here, but you could map what the name would be, for instance. You could map that to whatever status. So you can do all that here. But the most important thing is that for every scenario that you're using this HTTP request, and for all the data that you're sending to that same webhook, it has to be in the same format. So what I mean by that is all the query string names have to be the same. That's the same character, the same case, so no title case, or like if you have a name field with a title case, it's going to come in as a separate field. Even though it's still the name field. So this field is unique to this field because it's a title, the case is different. So, but once you sort of understand that, and you know that you can map in a lot of these different values, you could map in arrays of stuff as well if you wanted to via a query string. There's a whole lot of stuff that you can push in this query string. You can push all that into this one scenario, and you could have webhooks, these, in 5, 6, 10, 20, 100 different scenarios, all pushing the same data in, and then this scenario will then run from multiple triggers. Quite a simple solution, and it's until Integromat comes up with a built-in feature for it, this is going to be a fantastic workaround. Very, very simple and easy to set up. It's very robust, and just provided that you know what the query strings are that you require when you're sending that webhook across, and then maybe if you're missing query strings, you might have logic in here to then look up those missing query strings from a database or something, then that would be fine as well. You could also just send it across with an ID and then have that as the first step, rather than sending all the data from a database. Just look it up via the ID in the database and then go ahead with the rest of the scenario. If you want to keep it really simple, that'd be a great way to do it. But yeah, really, really easy way to build out these multiple triggers. Very, very simple, easy. It's going to be very robust. I think you're going to be very happy with this. Let me know in the comments below what you think. And if you've got a better solution, I'd love to hear it. If maybe you find that there's some different ideas and things, I'd love to hear about them in the comments as well. So please share. And if you did find this useful, like and subscribe.
Hi, I'm Mitch Bayless, and if you're looking for someone to help you with your business automation, then click the button below to schedule your free call today. And if you found this video useful, remember to click like. And also subscribe to our channel for more videos.